Welcome to the class of high throughput data generation and analysis. Dear students, today we are going to study about genome sequencing methods. You already know about what is the genome. Genome is the complete set of genes that is found in a species or in any organism. Okay, so that means it is the total set of DNA or total set of genes. Okay. So what is important, what is more appropriate definition, we should include the total DNA, the total DNA, total set of DNA that is found in organism or in a species, because the genome include coding DNA and non-coding DNA also. And if we call it set of total genes, that means it will only include the coding DNA. But what is whole genome? Within the whole genome, we have to consider the whole DNA, means non-coding DNA as well as coding DNA. Okay. So we will also include the junk DNA or intronic DNA also. So it is made up of, it consists of introns and exons. So there are some features of the genomes like intron, exons, promoters, and there are various types of the DNA. So DNA has the features like genome has the various features like mini satellite DNA, microsatellite DNA, and it has the junk DNA has the repetitive DNA has various number of tandem repeats like repeats. So genome contain the repetitive sequence also and non-repetitive also. So there is the unrepetitive DNA and there is a repetitive DNA. Within the repetitive DNA we have, so the repetitive DNA has mini satellite and microsatellite DNA that shows the pattern, repetitive pattern. Okay. And we can also define the chromosomal DNA like condensed DNA. There is a different degrees of condensation like heterochromatin DNA and euchromatin DNA. So heterochromatin DNA is found in the more condensed form. And what is euchromatin DNA? Euchromatin DNA that is accessible, that is found in the open form. Okay, are you getting what I am saying? Euchromatin DNA is accessible DNA that is accessible to the proteins, means enzymes, and it is available for reading also. So euchromatin DNA is used for the transcription and to make the proteins. Heterochromatin DNA is found in the condensed form. It is a coiled DNA, so it is not accessible at that moment. And what happened in the cell division, that is the process of cell cycle. Within the cell cycle there are different phases. So what it shows, what we study in the cell cycle, chromatin DNA and euchromatin DNA. So there is a different, we can say the DNA become condensed at various stages and it becomes open when there is the transcription or there is a cell division. So there is the variation between the degrees of heterochromatization that you can observe in the stages of the cell cycle. Now today our focus is our focus is to study the DNA sequencing method. What is this? How can we sequence the large DNA, large genome? Human genome is also very large. How we can sequence? This is a large genome. How we can sequence? So the goal is to obtain the DNA string of bases that makes a given DNA strand. Okay. Problem क्या? What is the problem? Typically one can sequence directly only DNA of short stem, means short length, like that is 400 to 700 base pair, using the Sanger-Dioxy method. And now using the NGS method we can sequence less than 200 also. In sequence assembly what we do, we assemble the fragments. So when we want to sequence the larger genome, we have to make the fragment of the larger genome, and then we sequence each fragment separately. After that we need to join the different fragments together, because genome is the larger genome. So for the larger size genome we have to cut down the genome into multiple fragments. Then in sequence assembly we assemble the different fragments together. Okay. Now, so cutting and breaking DNA is essential. So there are some enzymes that are used to cleave the DNA for cutting the DNA. Restriction enzymes, what are these? These are the proteins that catalyze hydrolysis, breaking the molecule by adding water of DNA at certain points, called restriction site. It is written here, this is restriction site. Actually it is called restriction site. So the enzyme is EcoR1. It cut on the GAATTC, GARC. You can also call it GARC. Note that this is a complement of the GARC is the GATTC. It is also written here. Okay. Sometimes it is a reverse of that. Sometimes it is the same sequence. Okay, a sequence equal to its reverse is called palindrome sequence. So here you can see, like this is the sequence. Sometimes, okay, here you can see. So on the left hand side you can see there is a reverse of this sequence. GARC is given above, and you can see below. Okay, so the reverse is present here you can see the two sequences are given here, two shorter fragments are given here. So in each fragment, so GARC is given here, this is the, and reverse sequence is given here on the left hand side. So you can see what is shown in the red color, it has been highlighted by the red color. So these are the cutting site. The restriction enzyme will cut here, a red line shows that, and you can see the GARC sequence in each of that. Okay. In the second sequence it is present as a reverse. So the sequence equal to its reverse is called palindrome sequence. So you can call it. It is palindrome sequence. It is clear what is palindrome?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we move to further. Okay. So this was the step in which we use the different enzyme. Restriction enzyme is one of that. There are various other enzymes that can be used to cleave the DNA. Okay. So here restriction enzyme is shown. Like EcoR1 is a famous example. Okay. Now come to the fragment assembly. So we have sequence. Suppose we have sequenced the different fragments, clone. Okay, different fragments. Now after sequencing, after applying a sequencing method, now there is a fragment assembly. What is fragment assembly? After DNA fragments are sequenced, so we have to use the sequencing method. We will discuss it in the detail. Okay. Now first understand what is fragment assembly? After DNA fragments are sequenced, we want to assemble them together to reconstruct the entire target sequence. Okay, because we have made the different fragments of the larger genome. Now we have sequenced each one fragment. Okay, that are also called rates. So now we have to assemble these fragments. That is called fragment assembly. If the overlaps were unique and error free, this would be relatively easy task, but they are not. Okay. If sometimes there are the similar overlaps, then it is very difficult. Okay. So we have to make it error free, and for this step we use a computer. Computational methods are very important. Bioinformatics methods are very important here. You have to make it error free. So in addition, fragments can come from any of the two DNA strands, and we do not know which is what is the source. Okay, so we do not know to which strand it belongs. Okay. The ideal example, you can see input is ACCGT, then CGT GC. Okay, so here you can see TT AC and TACC GT. So few residues are similar here, like in the first one sequence we have ACCGT, in the last sequence also we have CCGT. So that is similar in the first and last sequence. Okay. Assume target sequence of about 10 base pair. Okay, like this. Like the last one, TTA3, CCG3, again 3 nucleotides, and TGC. So this is the consensus sequence that we can make by comparison of these fragments. So suppose these are 4 fragments. Okay. Now we have to search for the overlapping fragment. So what is the overlapping fragment here? Overlapping residue AC. AC is common. So AC is common among all these. Okay, like here you can see. So AC is common. AC is present in the first, and it is also present in the third one, and it is also present in the fourth one sequence. Okay, so at least 3 fragments contain AC element. Okay, this is the consensus sequence. Okay, consensus sequence. AC is common among these 3. Okay, so now we can conclude before AC there is a T residue. T is also present here, and here there is no residue. So we can assume this TT. TT is present before A in the first sequence also. So we can make the complete sequence. So to the last also you can consider like TACCGT. So if you consider the last fragment, like fourth one fragment, you want to complete it. So before T there is another T residue. Okay, now this sequence has been completed. Now what will come after T? GC. So in the second fragment you can see GC is present here. So GC can be added to fourth fragment. Now it is making the complete consensus sequence. So that last one sequence that is constructed using these 4 fragments or using 4 overlaps. So that is known as consensus sequence. This is clear to you or not? Is it clear to you? If you have any problem, you can ask. These are 4 fragments, and we have compared these fragments. Then we have identified what is the common. Then AC element is common. Means we know these are the fragments that belong to the same strand. Okay. Now here, so because AC is here, so before A, what is the residue? TT. So we can add TT. Means is to make the consensus sequence, we will add TT before this, and what can be the sequence after this this T, the GC can come, because CGT, this fragment show, the second one fragment show the last residue GC. Now GC can be added to the last. So it is very simple and you can find out. It will take some time, but you can find out. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Fragment. After DNA fragments are sequenced, we want to assemble them together to reconstruct the entire target sequence. Most fragment assembly algorithms include the following three steps. Actually, this step, fragment assembly step, is carried out using computers. Computational algorithms are used. So how these algorithms are used? It includes three following steps. What are these? Overlap, layout and consensus. Means, okay, means the fragment assembly can be done in the three steps using the computation algorithm. How it is done? What are these three steps? First one is the overlap, means finding potentially overlapping fragments. We have to find out potentially overlapping fragments. Like we have found AC. Okay. So AC is common between these fragments, three fragments. Okay. Then again we have found another GC. So finding potentially overlapping fragments. Now you can again see that we can again go back to that example. Actually, potentially overlap means now AC is common here. Now if you want to see what will come after T in the other sequence, so you can see T is also present here. Okay, after G, T is present. Now GC is present here. Because this sequence is common. CGT is also constant, is also common. CGT is present in first fragment, CGT is present in second fragment also, and CGT is present in fourth fragment also. Now we can conclude the CGT is a part of third one sequence also, and after that what will come? GC. Now GC can be added here. So in that way we can prepare the complete consensus sequence. Okay, is it clear? So that was that step, finding potentially overlapping fragments. Now second one, finding the order of the fragment. So finding the order means using the order is important in all the four sequences. Suppose these are the four fragments, so we have to use according to each sequence. So it should be matched in each fragment. It should not vary. Order is very important. Order should not vary in any of the fragments. Then only you can align these fragments, or if these fragments belong to the same strand, they will be aligning together. Okay, because they are showing the similar sequences, means overlapping. Finding the order of the fragments, finding potentially overlapping fragments. So this is the second step, layout, finding the order of the fragments. Okay, what is the order of the fragments? How we can assemble these? Means what is the first, what will come on the first, second, third. So we have to order them. Okay, we have to order them according to that. Then we have to find out overlapping or ordering. You can, okay, you can predict the order. You can predict the order also after the first step. It will become easy. Then finally you have to find out the consensus sequence. Means you have to construct. Once you know the order of the fragments, you can construct the whole sequence. Okay. So in the above example you have seen, like before AC there is the presence of TT element. So TT will come on the first order. This is the first. Okay. So order of the fragment is the TT AC. This is the first fragment. On the first number you can put this fragment like TT AC. Okay. Then What will come on the second? Like TAC. TAC. This is on the second order. Okay. Okay. Second. Now which one is the third? Like ACC. The first. What we have put like first fragment, that should come on the third order. Okay. Then this is the fourth one. The second one fragment is the fourth one fragment, and we can assemble this together according to this order. So this is the new order which I have told you. Which one is the first one here? Now TTAC. Then second TACCGT. Fourth one is the second one. Then first one is the third one, and the second fragment is the fourth one fragment. Okay, this is the order now which I am talking about, which they are talking. Usually we know with some approximation the length of the target sequence. Okay, so we use some approximation also, but there should be the overlapping sequence, then only we can say these fragments belong to the same DNA. Okay, now finding overlaps. Now we are going to discuss about finding overlaps. Okay, in theory we should test for overlaps all pairs of fragments. Okay, so in the above example you have seen, in the theory we should test for overlaps all pairs of fragments. For every pair we will consider all relative orientations. Okay, so we have to keep in mind, we have to keep all the possibilities. Okay, consider all the relative orientation. One possible method, perform alignment without charging for flanking gaps. Okay, so you can perform alignment, you can use the sequence alignment method, like end space free alignment, but in that alignment method you don't have to give any gap is not allowed. Like in the local alignment and global alignment method we use gap. Even by giving the penalty also you cannot use the gap. For this method, for the sequence assembly, you cannot use the gap. Gap is only allowed at the end, like at the starting there are the two gaps. Okay, so gap is allowed only at the end, at the starting or at the end. So gap, so you can perform the alignment method without any gap. It is important. So sequence alignment method is have to be performed but without any gap. Gaps are only allowed at the end. Is it clear? So the sequence, is it clear to you? So the sequence alignment method which is used for this sequence assembly, that is known as end space free alignment. Okay, we will discuss it later. Now come to the okay. So that is you are getting or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now how we can represent the overlaps? Like these are the different overlaps in the figure. You can see like TAC, GA, ACCC, B. So these are four different fragments like A, B, C and D. How we can construct the overlapping? So we can give the weight also. So this is the different methods, like okay, this is the path DBC that leads to the alignment. F is fragment, so overlap graph, vertices means element of F. So this is the graph which represent the different fragments. So at each node, these are four nodes A, B and C, D. Okay. So vertices elements of F. Okay. Weighted edges if A, B belong to F. F means fragments. Okay. Means whether fragment means okay, means A and B can be the fragment or not, means this belong to the fragment or not. Then weight of the A is from A to B is equal to T, where maximum integer such that suffix AT that is equal to prefix BT. Okay. So T for T, what they have taken? Last T symbol of A and first T symbol of B. Okay. What is this? T means last T symbol of A. Okay. Sometimes we have to prefix the symbol. Sometimes we have to suffix the symbol. So these are two cases. Suffix AT means last T symbol of A. Prefix BT, what it means? First T symbol of B. Okay. Okay, that is the symbol of B. Suffix AT means last T symbol of A. So first you have to do the exercise, then you will understand. Okay, what is this? So A, B, whether these are fragment or not, whether these belong to B, F or not. So we have to find out, and then only we can make the consensus sequence. Okay. So each sample path, simple note, using the same vertex more than once in overlap. So graph define an alignment. So that graph shows the alignment. Okay. So there are two assumptions. No fragment completely included in another direction of fragment is known. Means we should know about the direction also. So okay, so here you can see, you can put down each fragment above each other. So this is the path D, B, C leads to alignment like G, A, C, A, C, C. And this is the another example. You can see like A, we have fragment A, we have fragment B, we have C and D. So you have to align all these. So here you can see on the right hand, you can see path D, B, C to leads alignment. Okay. So here you can see, so AC is common, like there is a triple C. Okay, then C is common here. So we are aligning these path A, B, C, D. Means this is a fragment D, B, C. D means fourth fragment, B means second fragment, C means third fragment. Now path A, B, C, D leads to alignment. So there is a fourth fragment also like G, A, C, A. Okay. Now these all have been aligned to each other. So whether A, B belong to F or not. F means fragment, means this is our probable or potential fragment is not, means which are going to be sampled now. Is it clear? Actually you have to take the examples, you have to exercise it according to this. These are the four fragments. Okay, and you have to align anyhow. You have to just align these. Space you can give at the end. Okay, now you have to write down the algorithm. According to you can write down your algorithm. You can write down your own algorithm also, how you are aligning these. The objective is to make the consensus sequence using these four fragments. Okay, now I am giving you the exercise. You align these four. You just write down these four fragments from this exercise also and from above exercise also, and then you align these fragments. Okay, you make the consensus sequence using these four fragments. Okay, then you can write down your own algorithm, how you have aligned all these fragments with each other. Okay. Okay, then you have to find out the layout. Okay, this is the okay, second definition. So for this you can use the Hamiltonian path, a path that visit each vertex exactly once. Okay, so it will denote the path. Let P is the path, A the set of fragments involved in A. Okay, okay, what is A? What A denotes? So given A denotes sum of lengths of fragments in A, and P means the weight of the path P. Okay, W it is written as the function of P. The sum of weight of path P. The sum of the A's weights on this path. So again these are the four fragments, and we are finding the layout, how we can proceed next. So if you will give the weight for each fragment, then it will become easy to make the consensus sequence. So you can make the layout. So it is the easy method that you can assign the weight. If you think this is more similar to this, if it is looking complicated to you, I am giving you the solution. Like, you take these four fragments, then you align these four fragments with each other, then give the weight for each fragment, which one you think. Okay, according to you, you can give the weight, assign the weight. Okay, sum of the weight of the path P. So we have to find out the path, like 1 2 1 1 means how we can move. Okay, how many changes we need to convert this fragment to this, like here T A C G A. If we move from this to this is A C C. Okay, ACC. So one residue is similar in this, so it has weight 1. Okay, now come to this fragment CTAAG. Somebody is joined. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now you can compare TACGA with GACA. So how many residue are same in this? GA is also present here, and GA is also present here. Okay, so there are two match, so 2 is written here. Okay, now if we compare this to this, now find out how many residue are similar in this. Here CTAAG. Now GAC, how many residue are similar? Just find out. I think just see at the end, you can see G is similar here, G is also present here, and G is also present here. And because CA doesn't match with CT also, so it will come this fragment, this fragment. Are you looking the arrow also? Is it visible? Arrow, mouse arrow. So obviously the G is present at the end in this fragment, and G is present on the first here. So we can align this fragment to this at the end. Okay, at the end we can align this fragment. So this is according to the matching, how many residue are similar. So they have assigned the weight according to that, how many residue are similar. So because there are the two match here, so they have written it. Okay, according to that, according to the weight, we can find out the path. Okay, now this is the making the layout, and for that you can use the greedy algorithm also. Find a Hamiltonian path with large WP. Heuristic, iteratively find the heavies A's and try to add it to the path. And then acceptance test. Okay, again you have to revise the greedy algorithm. What was that? We have to find out the minimum path. Okay, that was the greedy algorithm. Means minimum distance we have to find out. at the minimum step we have to make the consensus sequence here. Iteratively you can find out in the but we have to do the multiple iteration to add it to the path. This is acceptance test also, and A's can be added to the path if it will not create branching point on the path. Okay. ठीक है. First you just do the exercise using the different fragments. You do the sequence assembly. Okay. Then we will study further. Okay. How many students are present? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Lecture is now over. You just do the exercise before going further. Actually we have to revise the greedy algorithm also, that we can apply here. Okay. Lecture is now over. You can ask the question. We will study further according to the greedy algorithm, but you just understand what I have taught you today. These are the simple steps. So before proceeding next, we have to revise all these. Okay. Do you have any question here? These three steps
No,
are
ma'am.
these three steps are clear, like overlap, layout, consensus. Just you do the exercise using any fragment. You just take your own fragment or take it from internet also, or take from this exercise. Just make a consensus sequence without seeing. Okay. Without looking at the PPT. This PPT, okay, this PPT I have uploaded on the Gyan Sancha also. You can read it, read this PPT. Okay, lecture is now over. You can you do the exercise. Okay, take this fragment and make the consensus sequence now. Okay, I will check it.